Alrighty. So where we left off is I showed you how to make sure you can explicit your pack face so people that don't want to see the faces don't have to. This is a thing that you can do basically across the board. So if you have something that people are uncomfortable with or you feel like somebody would be uncomfortable with on your pack, which you shouldn't, um, you can explicit it. And that's something that you can do and set up. And so the next thing I want to do is I want to cover pack wheel. So there's this thing called the pack wheel. So when you're in first person or third person or whatever, you're not in the pack menu whatsoever. There's a button you can press, which will pop up something. Right now, you can't see anything because I don't have anything set to the pack wheel. So in order to even get this functionality to bind a key to this, you want to go to your console and you want to type in pack underscore wheel. Oh, wait, no. Shoot, I always forget this part. Pack wheel. Um, it is okay. Here we go. So what you want to do is bind space, and then you want basically type it exactly how I am. I use G, so I'm going to type G. So bind G, and then you want plus pack underscore events, and then that's it. And then it's all good. That's it. That's how you get this wheel to show up. But because we don't have anything set to any of the event things for this, you're not going to have anything. So we'll go back into the pac3 editor and we'll I'm very weird about this. I like to minimize my stuff that I'm not working on. So I'm not going to be working on anything inside of the base avatar. So I'm going to close this and then I'm going to create a new group. And this one is going to be called equip. Oops. Let me have a stroke real quick. Oh, hello? Oh my God. Equip. So short for equipment. Brain just shat out. All right, so now that we got this all set up, you can move this wherever you want. I wouldn't recommend moving anything. So in the equipment area, do again the plus sign right here. And this time we're going to search up event. And this is going to be the only one that shows up. You can just hit enter. And you're going to have this unknown event. You're going to have this thing it's going to show up red. So here, let me do that again so we can actually do this properly. So there. And there we go. You see the red bar and everything, red box around that. It's because this isn't going to function properly because it's an unknown event type. So the events that work for the pack wheel is going to be command. You can do command, just type it in, hit enter, and then you'll have some things that pop up. New things will show up. But there's also another way that you can do it. You go over to the left of the command word, you go over here and click the three dots. It should pop up this. And again, you can do command by searching it up in the yellow slot right here. There's also so many other things. Don't worry about that too much right now. That's something else we can cover later. But yeah, so for now, we're going to do command. We do that, select command. We're all good here. I like to be really clean about stuff. So I'm going to do this, which is I like to name the command itself because you can see right here, it's this giant long string, like it's, huge, normal pac3 menu is like this, and you can't touch you can't hit the plus sign. So I renamed this. I'm gonna rename this to oops, am I typing? Oh, I am typing. Uh, helmet. All right, there we go. It's renamed to helmet. That's all good. And then before I continue on, you want to make sure you select this because this is going to affect other stuff. So if I have another event here, or if I have something else in here, if I toggle this event, it's going to affect everything that's in this group, everything that's in this tree. I will show that later when I have more than one thing. So if I do this, affect children, that makes it so it doesn't affect anything else. All right. And then leaving the generic area, you want to go all the way down to where it says arguments. And you've got event duration and command, and then I'll expand this out so you know what it is. Command name. So this is what's going to show up in the pack wheel. So I will exit the pack editor, and there you go. You've got your first event. You do not, you don't, so yeah, you give your first event and your first event on the pack wheel. So while holding it open, you move your mouse over and you let go. And that's how you toggle it. You don't click, That's how you toggle. That's how you toggle it to test stuff out. But if you click, it's not going to stay on. You hover over and let go. That's how the pack wheel works. So if you want to cancel, so you can see, right click to cancel, you just right click and it'll not change anything. So now we'll go into here. As you can see, now it's blue because I turned it on. And this is the way to like really test to make sure your event's working properly is to turn it on. And then let's say since we're putting on a helmet, let me grab the model for that real quick. So I'm going to go into props. It can take a second to load. Go. And then there should be the Aura helmet somewhere here. Actually, you know what? I don't want that. Oops. I'll use this. Don't need that. Thank you. So right click, copy to clipboard. That copies the model. And then because we're gonna add this as a model, you do model, and you want not legacy, you want regular. Click on the model, go down to generic name, hide, and then model, and then Control V, and then it pastes it. So now you've got the thing showing up, or the whatever you got showing up. And there you go. That's how you add an event to do that. But now, since this is going to be a shortish video, I've got time. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and do the tutorial on how to position stuff properly. So now, before we do that though, go in, see how we still got that set up. Make sure we go change that actually real quick. Let's go back into here. Helmet. So I'm back inside of the helmet setting. And as you see, it's because I changed the name. It turns it off because the find simple is looking for specifically the helmet argument. So now what I want to do is, because I have that changed, I'm going to have to go back out of pack. And this will show you the name change. You can see it says helmet. We'll go back into pack. Helmet's back on. There we go. Now, because the helmet isn't really situated properly and I don't really like how it's sitting, I'm going to change the positioning. And the best way to do that is to do the T-pose. So you don't have any head movement. And then I'm going to basically move this. As you can see, because I moved this like this, you can see the numbers right here. You can see in the angle. This one is specifically changing because I'm rotating it like this. The other ones are rotating. So I want this to be at a 90-degree angle. I'm never going to get that perfect. So I'm going to just type in by double clicking. And that's perfectly 90-degree angle. And then I'm going to move my cursor or move my camera and then move this one by grabbing it and bring it. And as you can see, everything's changed. And I think, what is this? There you go. Directly head on as I set it to 0. Actually got that angle at 90 degrees. Perfect. That's wild. All right. And then, of course, it's sitting in your head. Should be pretty self-explanatory what we need to do next. The circles move it side to side and up and down. So we just find a good position where it's like perfectly on the top of her head. Maybe move this up a little. Oops, moving around too fast. And then you've got a pretty decent connected helmet. It's a little big, so I might change the size a little bit. So I might do, let's see, go to the orientation, and I'm actually going to type in 0.97 because I want it just a tiny bit smaller. It gives it a little bit smaller size, and then there's no clipping of the hair, which is perfect. I think I'm gonna actually bring this out just a little bit more right there. Yeah, I'm just gonna fiddle with it just a little bit. There we go. And that's how you add a model to your character. And when you've got it all set up, should track because I've got it attached to the head. And there we go. That's how you add stuff to the pack with the event wheel. Or I can show it show it in action by being in this secondary option. So there you go. Just hover over with the mouse and it turns off. All right, and then since we're still here, and this video isn't extremely long yet, I'm gonna make another event. So going into the event, the equip, I'm gonna want to put armor on this aura. So I'm gonna do the same thing where I press the plus sign next to the equip, type in event, and you got the same thing, command, And as soon as I hit enter, oh good, it didn't actually affect it. Let's see. Normally, that should affect it, where it turns off. It should. Why is this? Oh, you know why? That's because of the name. So here, let's do this. Let's change the name to armor. If let's say I forgot to do that, I'll do that here, armor. You got the commands, all that set up. But now let's get out of the pack menu, go in here. Let's turn on the armor. Oh, yeah, look at it. We've got our first bug where my mouse isn't showing it properly. Let's go back into pac3. I don't think this is going to show up unless I do something. This is what I'm going to have to do this, aren't I? Let's see. There we go. Now it's showing up. All right, let's go back into pack. Silly bugs. All right. So now if I turn on the armor, not really. Interesting. Why is it not affecting everything in the group? Well, let's turn on the armor for now because I want to actually edit this. And I screwed up again. There we go. All right. So now I want to add the armor. So this is going to be a model again. And then it's going to pop that up. And then I want to go into here. And I'm just going to grab this armor because it's just whatever. Calibri armor. It doesn't matter too much. Actually, I'll keep it in line. The aura armor. And then same deal. You're putting it in the models. And then there you go. You see where it's connected to the head. Well, let's position this so it's sitting on the where the chest is. Um, so one thing you'll notice almost immediately is because I'll just do this really easy. The head, when the head moves, the armor moves. Oops. So if I do this, that's not something you really want. Like if I look up, the armor moves. That's not what I want. Let's go back into pack. So the thing you want to change is under orientation is you want to go all the way down where it says bone right here and you see where it says head. You want to select something that makes more sense. So for instance, spine 2. Spine 2 would make sense. But now, because we did all those editings, the model is up in her pelvis. So let's reset the position. So we right click on the position and go down to reset. And same deal with angles. That way we start fresh. And then we're going to want to find the red one. I'm going to turn this so it says 90, which this one I want 90. I'm actually going to do this too while we're at it. There we go. There's that. And then I want to go this way. And I'm going to bring this up. And this is kind of sitting funny, so I'm going to have to do some minor tweaking. I think this is because this is the pack gamma model. Oh, wait, no. No, I think we're good. Oh, it's a little funky. It sits pretty well on the neck. That's good. But we're going to have to deal with this. So this is something we're going to have to change. So I'm going to change the scale. So I'm going to have to find the scale, not the size, because I like where it's sitting on the shoulders. It just needs to go out more to the forward. Actually, we might be able to just move it a little bit. No, it's clipping. It's clipping pretty bad, so I'm actually going to bring it back. Yeah, I'm going to bring it back a little bit more, which is, nope, that's up and down. There we go. I'm going to set that to 0. There we go. That should fix all that clipping. But I want to do with this. So I'm going to go to scale. I'm going to find this one. Let's see. I'm going to scroll up. Can I scroll up? Yeah. Oh, that does wider. I don't want that. Let's do this one. No, that's taller. And this one. We'll make it a little bit bigger in the front and the back. So it should kind of sit a little bit better on them itself. There we go. And that's how you add it to a different bone. So you don't have it connect to the head. Yeah, so now you move around and everything, and it's connected properly. Because the pack gamut, it doesn't have any of the armor. There we go.